That's terrible. Oh, that's actually really bad.
What's up everybody, Peter McKinnon here and welcome back to yet another video. And yes, today we're chit-chatting about monopods. Tiffen sponsored this video and they sent me both versions of their new monopod, the Steadicam Air 15 and the Steadicam Air 25. Because I've been using monopods for so long, I've even done a video in the past of different camera techniques that you can accomplish on how to get nice steady shots using a monopod. Beyond that, it's got so many uses and this particular model makes a lot of those things way easier to use, and I want to show you that here today. Made for all professional camera uses up to 15 pounds. Hands-free foot pedal control of lens height. They call it a gas-powered monopod. Great hefty weight to this. You know when you get a product in hand, you take it out of the box and it feels like a little bit too light and you're like, This isn't that at all. Now carbon fiber, so it's actually, I mean, it's hefty, it's very hefty, but it's light at the same time, if that makes any sense at all. You've got several stages. You've got two stages here of deployment, if you will. So the first stage, you're gonna twist, and then that comes down, you know, looks like around 2 feet, which is great. So already this is like a pretty good height. So that actually tilts down and up, but it sits in that little cradle when you're packaging it, so that sits nice and flush, which I like. That gives you a really good range of keeping the base stable, but being able to use and move the monopod every which way you want. What's really cool is the locking mechanism down here at the bottom, which they call their gas-powered monopod. Now, when that's in place and you're using this monopod, you don't actually have to bend down, unscrew it, pull it up, screw it. Literally, you just put your foot on this lever, you press it, and it actually deploys itself through magic. It's magic. You want to bring it back down, you're going to push that lever again, and you're going to pull it back down. Now it takes a little bit of force, you let go, and it locks back up, and it's not going anywhere. That thing deploys on its own, which is great. So I think one of the features that's super cool about this is if you shoot video, obviously you can use that gas-powered lever as a camera move itself. And actually just hitting that lever, you're gonna get that nice smooth pan vertically. If you're at an event, you're shooting photos, or you're filming something and you just wanna raise up a little bit, you don't even have to take your hands off. That's what's great about this. It's just super effortless, very fast to use. You wanna stand up, that's now been adjusted to your height. You wanna go back down, you're gonna sit down, it's locked, you're good to go. So you can see how fast adjusting something like this is. Now, until you're actually out in the field at some kind of event where this would be helpful, you're not really gonna grasp the full awesomeness of that feature. So where would a monopod or something like that be helpful? Well, let's say you're shooting weddings. If you're on the dance floor and people are dancing, you're moving around and you want to keep that camera as steady as you can, or you want to keep that video as steady as you can instead of it being shaky. A monopod is the perfect tool for that. What are you gonna set up an actual tripod and have 3 legs sat on the dance floor while everyone's moving? Like, that's not gonna work. Another perfect example would be shooting something like a sporting event. You're on the sidelines, you wanna run up and down, you wanna get around, move, but still keep that steady so you can track, pan, whip pan, zoom, all those types of things. You don't want a huge footprint, and that's where monopods come in handy. So what's kind of interesting about this is if you look at the two versions that they offer, the 15 below and the 25 up top, there's almost 0 difference in size and footprint. They weigh almost exactly the same, but the 25 can take 10 pounds heavier of a camera package, which is great. So if you are shooting on a red or an Airy or something like that, the 25-pound option for you would probably be the one you want to go with, and it's still barely even heavy based on the fact that it's carbon fiber. Now that leads me to another point that I love about monopods, and not just this monopod, but just monopods in general. After doing this for so long, your back starts to hurt. Like having so many Pelican cases filled with glass and metal and carrying cameras around, and if you've got a 1DX or a Pro Body camera or any camera with a telephoto lens on it, and you're holding it up in that like working position for a while, it starts to hurt. It starts to hurt your back, it starts to hurt your shoulders. A monopod gets rid of the weight entirely. Like all you have to do is hold one finger out to make sure it doesn't fall over. So having that weight removed essentially just lets you shoot longer. You're gonna last longer on a shoot and you're gonna feel better at the end of it. Another fun fact about monopods is they are easy to travel with. It doesn't call as much attention. It doesn't take as long to set up or break down. It's easier to throw in the overhead bin. It's just one, you'd be surprised. It's just this. A couple things I will note about this monopod that I'm still trying to get used to, that I'm not the biggest fan of, is back with the lever, it's easy to press it by accident and it kind of extends itself when you don't want to. Coming with some sort of tripod head, be it a video head or a photo head, would be amazing, but that would obviously increase the price tenfold. Being that this is already full carbon fiber with that gas lift, we'll call it, it's already an expensive monopod, but it is probably the nicest monopod I've ever owned. Yeah, actually. So guys, that is basically it. I hope you learned something. Hope you enjoyed looking at the Steadicam Air monopod. If it's something that you're interested in, I will leave the links on the top line of the description. You can check those out, see if that's something that's gonna work for you as a filmmaker or photographer, but it is something that I highly recommend. That's it, folks. I'm out of here. Hit the like button if you like that video. Smash it if it's something that you're into, 2019 style. Subscribe if you aren't already, and I will see you in the next video. Have a fantastic day, evening, morning, afternoon. I've covered it all. You're good. No matter where you live, I got you. See you in the next one. Wrapped in plastic. Dexter style. Probably can't see it in the light because I suck and I'm holding it the wrong way. Now it's gonna be upside down, so let's just forget that. Now you can, oh, that's a good thumbnail. If you're shooting photos and you're at an event, or you're... Just hit myself in the face.
That's terrible. Oh, that's actually really bad. What did I do wrong? I've made AeroPress 1,000 times. That seriously sucks.
Yeah, that's dope.
It's actually quite phenomenal. I just said it was bad because I knew it would be like a really anticlimactic, but yet still climactic end to the B-roll sequence, to the question, which was probably, why is this dude making AeroPress in the woods by himself? So the spit out worked. It worked. You know it worked. Stop looking at me.